2 minutes late is not that bad, but it's later than I want to be. So anyway, we'll call the subcommittee and Senate File 274 to order. A bill for an act relating to forms of payment for entry into extracurricular interscholastic athletic contest or competition. So we get started. Senator Zimmer.
I will defer to the group that's here and for closing comments.
Okay. Senator Taylor.
I will wait for my comments at the end as well.
Okay. Thank you. We have two people online, but we'll get to them after we finish up comments in here. So we'll start over here.
Thank you. Nathan Arnold, Professional Educators of Iowa. I believe last year we were neutral. I think this year we're, I will say I know this year we're registered as opposed to the bill. The reason is I want to prevent teachers and educators from inadvertently getting in trouble when there's a cash box. If one of the volunteers steals something or if money somehow gets misplaced, it could be pretty devastating in the current educational environment for that teacher. And that's why a lot of schools have moved away from cash to protect themselves. So if we had, for lack of a better word, more chill vibes in the education system right now, I'd be okay with it. But I just don't want to see educators getting in trouble. So.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Matt Adey. I'm a consultant to the Iowa High School Athletic Association, a non-lobbyist consultant, and our comments will come from our executive director.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Tom Keating, Executive Director of the Athletic Association, and I am here simply to answer questions.
Good afternoon, Dave Dotton, School Administrators of Iowa and Rural School Advocates of Iowa. We are currently, from a year ago, registered in opposition to the bill. We were going to be switching our registration to being undecided for several reasons. I think technology has come a long ways. I think there are some things that we need to take a look at and see if we can do things better. Appreciate the conversation and comments about cash boxes and things like that, and we know how that works in schools sometimes. I think to do both also is more work. I was telling someone earlier, I was at a wrestling meet last night across the road, and they were actually, you had an option. You could show them your credit card and run it through that way, or you could pay cash, and there are different amounts. So I think there's some things we need to take a look at. I know why this bill is being brought up, but I also know that we are becoming more and more technological society. So
I'm Serenity Lowe. I'm just with LSA Fiscal here to observe.
Hi, I'm Michelle Johnson from the Iowa Association of School Boards. We're registered undecided. Mainly our big concern is what's already been stated. When there is cash used, there's obviously higher instances of fraud, or it could just be inadvertent and misplaced cash, and then that leads to all sorts of issues. So as technology has moved forward, we think schools should too. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to those that are online now. Margaret and Eric are the only two that are on there with us. I'm assuming they both want to speak. So if you want to go ahead and open up, we can get started. So.
Do you have to unmute them or not?
Raise your hand. Do we need to let them in or anything? Is something?
I'm going to go with they're not going to speak. Yeah, Eric's not going to say
anything. Okay. Margaret, did you want to add anything to it? Want to raise your hand?
She might be monitoring another one in another subcommittee. You know what I mean?
It's possible. Margaret knows where to find us all, so she'll have an opportunity to visit with us. So I respect her opinion a great deal. So, anyway, Senator Zimmer.
Well, thank you. This is right up my wheelhouse. I will tell you that as a previous cash only, cash is labor intensive. And I say that because we would have to have an administrative assistant preparing the cash box and then anticipating what denomination bills that needed to have in there so we didn't run out. Then after it was over, the ticket taker would have to count the box. I would have to count the box. Then we'd take it to the bank, and the bank would count the box, just to make sure from an auditing standpoint. I also know that for those folks that have cash on hand, it was easy. They have to walk in, they hand them the money, and get the change back. On the credit card side, there's pros and cons to that also. I mean, the big con is credit card fees. So that cut into our gate significantly. However, it was easy to handle. And auditing purposes, it was clean. That's what it was. The other thing on the credit card thing that I would bring up is that we were location specific. In other words, our connectivity was fine when it was at the main building, but as soon as we got off to the softball, baseball complex or something out of distance, then all of a sudden we started having connectivity issues that we had to address. So I just bring up some things for everybody around here that have dealt with this, that there is no one perfect answer on this. And so I'm just not sure on the bill, if we know what if we sign off on this, that our smaller school, even a bit, whatever size school is, cash is labor intensive, and it just is. So I don't want to have an unfunded mandate on there either.
Go, Ms. Senator Taylor.
Yeah, this is a bill that, or some of the bills I've been following for a while. Senator, do you know who sponsored the bill originally? I know it's probably been renumbered, so.
I don't know exactly who sponsored it. I know I spoke to Senator Evans about it some last year. And so I think that, I don't know, if that's the impetus for it, I don't recall, but.
Okay. Well, I actually, when it was first filed, I thought, well, this sounds like something that I would have filed myself, partly because for the first time, our school, my son's high school, went to no cash. Everything had to be through the app. It rubbed me the wrong way, partly because yeah, I have a credit card. I can put an app on my phone. Not everybody has a smartphone. I think to some extent this is something that is, if not an inconvenience, perhaps even something that would put a hindrance on the ability of older grandparents, parents, and things like that to even achieve access. So I see both sides of this. There's pros and cons, as with many things in life. There's advantages and disadvantages of doing it both ways. But in the end, I do feel like money is still legal tender, and people should not be turned away if they're offering money. I don't want to move to a cashless society. Yes, it's convenient, but there's also dangers with a cashless society. So I realize this is just one little tiny aspect of life, but I would like to continue the conversation at the committee level, just because I do think there are some advantages to having a bill like this that would still allow cash to be used in addition to some kind of an app or credit card system of payment.
Thank you, Senator Taylor. Did anybody else want to speak up from being online? Excuse me. Yes, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Keating.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just some clarification. Thank you for your perspective, and you're right. When it first went to digital and you had to buy tickets online, that was problematic. It was cumbersome. The devices now allow folks to walk up to the gate, literally touch their credit card to the gate and admit. So in that sense, it's been a lot more streamlined.
Sure. Thank you.
I think my first experience was when I went and I found out when I had to buy them online. Immediately, I was not happy, and it took a while. But anyway, I think I felt like you just told me you don't want me to be here. That was my first reaction, and luckily the school staff was able to get me in, not for free, but they got me in. But anyway, but we shouldn't have to be that way. I can understand, as Senator Zimmer talking about it being kind of somewhat cumbersome for schools, but I think the people I'm concerned about are the people that are coming to support kids. and those kids that are there and want their families to be there. So we will continue to have this discussion, obviously, and probably has its rough edges. I appreciate the concerns in trying to make sure everything, we don't want any kind of, theft, fraud, whatever, although that's been going on for a very, very long. I remember when I was in high school, somebody was helping themselves to the ticket box, and that's been more than 2 days ago. Anyway, we won't go there, but I'll be happy to sign off today, but we're gonna keep having this discussion with Senator Evans, and we'll see where it would go, if it would come to the floor, what would happen in the House. So I'll be more than happy to have these discussions with the Athletic Association and Union going forward.
Please feel free to reach out.
Thank you. I know where to find you through him, so thank you.
And Senator, it was who was the original sponsor.
Okay. All right.
I get you two mixed up, you know.
Oh, no.
Shoot.
Well, I've been called worse,
It's a
but
big
much.
deal, isn't it?
Yes, oh, yes.
Okay.